Hello everyone, welcome to another TV episode review. Today we'll be taking a look at Season 1, Episode 1 of Tangled the series, or for being really specific, it changed names in between Season 1 and 2 for some reason, but it's technically called Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, which I think is okay of a title. But anyway, this is Tangled the series, that's what it is. It's the series. It's the spin-off from the movie Tangled, but it has a different animation style. It's now 2D as opposed to 3D, which was in the movie, and in the Tangled Ever After, which was the short film where they got married. Anyway, so this is What the Hair. This is episode 1 of season 1, and it's pretty simple. The story is that Rapunzel is trying to find out why her hair has grown back. It makes more sense if you've seen Tangled before Ever After, which is the TV movie, which is before the series, but it's after the movie. It's a little confusing, but basically, you've got Tangled the movie. You watch that first, and then you watch Before Ever After. Then you watch the series, and then you watch Ever After, which is the 6-minute short. Anyway, yeah, this is the first one, and it's pretty great. As a pilot, this is one of the strongest episodes because it has so much connection to the movie and the TV movie, Before Ever After. So if you've seen both of those, then this has a greater impact. If you haven't, you will be confused. Well, at least you'll be fairly confused. Anyway, the story opens with Rapunzel with her long hair, and it's very awkward, and she's just trying to get rid of it, or at least she's trying to find out why it's back. And so it's kind of this cool journey. We have kind of two stories here. We're following Cassandra and Rapunzel, both of them, and then we're following Eugene and Maximus, who are the other side of the story. So Eugene and Maximus just go to the Snuggly Duckling to hang out, talk, have a good time. They're trying to get answers as well as to why her hair has returned. And so they're kind of just clueless, thugs. They don't really know. They're just kind of telling each other stories, and it's pretty fun to see Eugene back in the Snuggly Duckling. We only seen a little bit of that in the movie, but it's great to see more of their dynamic with him, which is pretty great. Some of them still call him Flynn, which I find interesting. But that's one of the main stories, and then the other main story is we're following obviously Rapunzel and Cassandra. Cassandra eventually gets the idea to go to a cottage on the other side of Corona, and they're trying to find a wizard named Varian, who is this legendary, magical wizard who can, maybe have the answers. And so Cassandra takes Rapunzel on this kind of journey to the old Corona, which is like this kind of cottage village area. And they run into Varian, who appears to be at first this super intimidating, warlord. And then it turns out he's just this kid named Varian who's, very obsessed with alchemy. Not magic, alchemy. And yeah, that's what his passion is. And so he recognizes Rapunzel immediately, obviously, because she's the princess of the entire kingdom. So obviously, who doesn't know who she is? And so he's like, hi, she's like, you know me? And he's like, of course, look at your hair. And then he's like, he's gonna study her hair. And so she asks him, can you help me? Can you help figure out why my hair is back? Because it didn't used to be back. And so, yeah, Varian helps them out. He straps her to this table you can see here in this picture. This is from the episode. And so he gets all these random devices, and she gets spun around and flung around and just absolutely insane. And he puts 80, I think 80 something tests on her. It's a lot of tests. And so she gets all turned around, flung around, and Cassandra's very suspicious of this. But she goes along with it. And Varian kind of knows what he's doing, not really, but it turns out that he's keeping a secret from the entire kingdom. In fact, he is, there's like these major earthquake machines that have been making tremors along the ground, and that's what's shaking the entire ground in this episode. And so at the end, Cassandra saves Varian's life from these very machines. That's like the main conflict. Is like basically Rapunzel's hair is back, and then there's also these earthquakes that are happening, and so yeah, that's what's happening. And so she's getting tested on, and before he can give her the answers, the earthquake thing starts happening again. And at this point, Eugene and Maximus have found the girls, and he's like, "What are you doing to?" He's he's very concerned. What are you doing with Blondie? And so he almost attacks Varian, but then Varian reveals he's just doing tests on her hair, and so it turns out that Flynn Rider is still a famous outlaw, and so he's still being heard of. And so even though he's obviously Eugene, he's not Flynn anymore. But Varian, it turns out, is a very big fan of Flynn Rider. In fact, he has this whole shrine behind a curtain dedicated to Flynn Rider for whatever reason. And so that's ridiculous, but it's good. And he tries to explain he's not Flynn, he just took the name from a book, but okay. And so he goes with Varian down below to conduct well, he shows Flynn the underground machines that are causing the earthquakes. And so he's like trusting Eugene with this. And Eugene's like, "You can't keep this a secret. This is really dangerous. It could kill someone, you know?" And so Varian, he's very protective of these machines, because if his father knew, then he would be very angry. And so obviously at the end, Rapunzel's hair saves him, and then it saves them. It saves her and Eugene, and then Cassandra saves Varian from the machines, from almost destroying the whole kingdom. But I think it's really interesting, these machines. I also like the fact that Varian's workshop is seen for the first time. It's really janky, but cool. And I think my favorite scene is definitely when Rapunzel gets tested with the various tests on the metal slab. You can see here all their hair is like everywhere. That is like one of the best scenes of the show. And I also love the scene where Varian reveals his Flynn Rider shrine, which is silly but great. I also love the callback to the movie where Rapunzel is singing the healing incantation, which, if you remember, that was one of the most important abilities in the movie. Was if she sang, then her hair glowed and she healed, whatever was in the area. And so there's a major callback to that, which is very nice. She tries to sing again to heal Varian's hand. It's not, injured, but it's just a nice callback. She sings it again, but it doesn't work because it turns out this hair has a different ability. It can be used as a shield, so it's indestructible now, so you can't cut it, which is cool. We don't learn more about the hair until later, but this is just a great start to the series. We know, Varian is introduced, Cassandra is introduced as Rapunzel's best friend, also her lady-in-waiting, which is very important. And then we have, obviously, Eugene and Rapunzel, who are the same from the movie, which is great. And their chemistry is, once again, fantastic. And yeah, we see a little bit of the king and queen, and it's great to see some different locations in Corona, which we didn't see in the movie. It was kind of limited, but it's great to see that. It has a lot of... I think the best part of this episode is the dialogue. I think it's just really cleverly written and really funny. It's just very memorable as a first episode, and it's cool. The mystery of why Rapunzel's hair is back kind of sucks you in, but then you get a lot more as well. You also get some scenes with Maximus as well, and the pub thugs. Their cameo is kind of nice. Yeah, that's What the Hair. That's the episode. I think it's great. Sorry I skipped over the end of it, but I think it's really great. It's a nice start to the series. For the pilot episode, it is really great. So I give What the Hair a 10. I don't have any problems with it. I think it is one of the best of the series. Probably, yeah, it's one of my favorites. Definitely. It just has a lot of rewatchability for sure. Especially the callbacks are very well appreciated, in my opinion. And yeah, that is What the Hair, the first episode of the series. Hope you enjoyed this. What is your favorite episode from the series? I'll probably review like my favorites first, and then I'll do the rest. Thank you so much for watching this. And let me know down below if you like Tangled the series or if you prefer the movie. Let me know. And I will see you in the next episode review. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.